Hello guys, good afternoon everybody. It's such a pleasure to be able to communicate with you again and for us to go back to our classes. And we need to continue. So in this new unit, which is unit 9 that we call body and mind, we will in general talk about greetings and how people interact with other people, and we're also going to talk about how we express in English possible situations in the future and the results of them. As you can see in the instructions, we are going to start on page 86. If you have the book, you should be checking that page 86 and 87, and we will also cover page 88 and 89. If you don't have the book, I know that some of you don't have the book. I'm also giving information, readings, and videos that might be helpful for you if you don't have the book, so you don't have excuse not to practice. I'm sending some links and some videos that you can use, check, and also this one to study and also to continue with the course, okay? But in the book, let's start checking at some vocabulary. The first activity you will do, it's about body and actions and how people greet. This word is important, greet. To greet is to say hello in English. And if you take a look at activity 1 in your student book, it says work with a partner and check about the phrases and how people in different countries interact or greet each other. And in the sentences, we have some words that are in a very vivid black color or in bold. And let's start taking a look at the phrases that are there. If you have problems with the vocabulary, I'm going to help you. In sentence number 1, we have hug and we also have greet. We said that greet is to say hello, right? For the first time to a person. But let's take a look at the rest of the phrases in the sentences, and I'm going to help you with that with pictures. So the first one is hug. Probably you know what hug is, and hug is basically to get close with somebody, right? So you can hug family, friends. We will discuss later when it's appropriate to hug and when it's not. Another word that we have in the sentences is nod. And nod is the movement you do with your head when you go up and down. Like for example, when you say yes with your head. But we know that you can use the nodding for different situations. So one of those is probably greeting. So nod is moving your head up and down, exactly like in the GIF, right? Next one is shake, and in this case is shake hands. So you shake hands. You can also shake your body, but in this case we're talking about shaking hands. And another expression or verb is bump. And bump is a synonym of hit, and most of the time you use your hands to make this bump. So remember, we have hug, hug, nod, nod, shake, shake, and bump, bump. We have more expressions there in the sentences, and another one is to stick the tongue out. When you stick your tongue out, like in the picture, you're putting the tongue out of your mouth. And we have one more, which is clap. And you clap, for example, when you're in a concert or when somebody has made something that it's very good, so you clap. But we're going to discover in activity 1 that all those verbs and actions can be used in different countries to greet. That's what you need to do in activity 1. Then we will continue analyzing how we can express in English causes and results, or cause and effect, right? So action, reaction in English. Think about the sentences that we have here. If I have time tonight, Think about you. If you have time tonight, what are you going to do? I have some answers here. Probably the answers that I put match your answers or your ideas, right? If I have time tonight, I will watch a movie. If I have time tonight, I'll play some video games. If I have time tonight, I'll do some exercise. Now, next sentence. When I retire, think about you. When you retire, what are your plans? Well, for me, I will travel around the world. I'll start a business. When I retire, I'll move to another city, probably another state, or even another country. So we have an action and a result. If I have time tonight, I will watch a movie. Of course, if I don't have time, this action will not occur. And in the second sentence, when I retire, I'm explaining that these ideas of the future, that I will travel, I'll start a business, will be possible only when I retire. Not now, but in the future. We call this type of sentences conditional sentences because we need a condition for our result, right? Let's take a look at how we create those sentences. Conditional sentences require a condition or a cause and a result or a consequence. Of course, the consequence or the result is influenced by the condition. So, how do we create these sentences? Well, for example, if I study hard, that is the condition, I will pass the test. That is the result. And because I'm talking about something that is possible, I need to use the future. I'm making a prediction, right? If I study hard, what will be the result in the future? I will pass. Of course, I need to use will for the second part of the sentence. Conditional sentences include two parts, the condition and the result. In the condition, most of the time we start with if, and then we have the subject, and then we put the verb in simple present, study, and then we can put a complement. For the result or the consequence, we start again with the subject, who is receiving the result, I, and then we put will because we're talking about something that is possible in the future, with a condition, of course. And then we put the verb in infinitive or in base form, and we can also put a complement. So remember, we're talking about conditional sentences, cause and effect, right? Or a cause or a condition and a result. And this type of conditional sentences refer to something that is possible in the future with a condition, right? So if I study hard, I will pass the test. If I have time, I will go to the party. Both condition and result. The result is in the future, the condition is in present simple, right? We can use other words like when, before, after, or as soon as, because they also indicate a condition of time for the possible future event to occur. So, as soon as, this word is important, it means immediately. So, as soon as or immediately, so as soon as I finish university, I will get a job. So the condition is finishing university, and the possible future event or result is getting a job. So as soon as I finish university, I will get a job. When I am 60, this is the condition, I will be retired. This is the possible result in the future. Remember, the condition, we can use words like if, we can use words like when, we can use words like before, after, as soon as, and is in present. The result is always in future with will, and then the verb in base form, right? Okay, we call this first conditional. And I have another example here. I will send my homework as soon as I get home. I will send my homework when I get home. So the first sentence is immediately, and the second sentence is no time indicated, so just when I get home. Now, we can change the order of the clauses. We can start with the future and then put the condition. So we can start with the result in future and then we put the condition. Or we can start in the normal way with the condition, when I get home, and the result, I will watch Netflix. Both are possible. We can change the order. We can start with condition and then result, or we can start with result and then condition. We can also use other words to indicate how certain we are about the future. Remember that in future, there are other words that we can use. You remember? We use will when we are very sure or we are making a prediction. But we can also